Hello, welcome to another weekly vlog that I'm actually kicking off on Sunday night. I was about to sit down and plan out tomorrow, and I thought, oh, why don't I just go ahead and vlog this? Because I do want to get into the habit of including my daily plan in the vlog when we get to Vlogmas, but it's tough because I have been planning at night, and I usually by the time I get up here and it's part of my evening routine, I don't have a ton of energy, so I'm not like, oh, let me set up the camera and vlog. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it tonight. I just got done painting my nails. I went with a silver. Well, let me tell you what I did. So I've talked about this before. I use Dazzle Dry. I love, 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 love Dazzle Dry. And I knew I wanted to do silver because we're going to the Spurs game tomorrow night. At the Bulls game. It's here in town, the Spurs Bulls game. And the silver is one of their, they have different, Dazzle Dry has different types of, what's the word I'm looking for? Wow. This is why I shouldn't vlog at night, because I literally can't think of words. Different thicknesses, I guess. I'm sure there's a better word for that. But some of them are sheer. A lot of them that my friend and I pick are the completely opaque colors. Except we do love the metallics, but the metallics are a lot thinner. And so when I do paint with a metallic, the silver, I love the color Timeless. I really do feel like I need an extra layer of what they call transform, which is fills in the ridges, but it adds 2 extra steps to the process. And at night, I did this after Lyla went to bed. I just didn't have the energy. I was like, I'm not doing that. So instead, what I thought I would do is add a color that I know is thicker, and I thought it may add a little bit of darkness. I don't know that it really added any darkness. In fact, hold on. I switched the focus because I need to change the focus setting when I'm doing a planner video, or a planner clip. Anyway, I think there's you can see on the edge, the darker color. I'm sure that's not actually true. I'm sure it's not that big of a deal, but anyway. So those are the 2 layers, the colors that I did right now. And now I am going to get tomorrow all planned out. It is Monday. If you did not see the vlog where I have been using the Erin Condren Daily Duo, and I do enjoy it. The setup, the layout is working well. I think where I struggle is it's almost too much for me because I don't necessarily need it every single day. And I even tried to I'm not going to show you because there's some personal stuff. I even tried to force myself to use it over the weekend, but I don't need an hourly plan on the weekend. I barely need a to-do list sometimes. So I'm torn. This is the end of my the Daily Duo that I have. And so I haven't decided what I'm going to get for January yet. I need to go back and look at the daily planner options. It's been a long time because I was using my daily planning pad. That is no longer an option unless I wanted to print it out for myself every day, which I do not. But I do feel maybe an undated daily might be a better fit for me. Not undated where it still has the days of the week, completely undated. And I can't remember which ones kind of fall in that. So if you have a daily planner that you have been enjoying, I would love to hear about it in the comments. If I can't make up my mind, I'm probably going to purchase whatever I end up deciding to do on Black Friday. And this vlog goes live the Monday before Black Friday. So let me know. Okay, let's get tomorrow all planned out. I'm looking at my calendar. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have been trying to do a good job of getting up in the morning. This blue is a little bit dark and juicy compared to the orange in October matched perfectly, but the blue doesn't match quite as well. So I've been trying to get up and do some sense of a morning routine before Lyla wakes up. For a while, I was I just want to get as much sleep as possible. And in the first trimester, that's absolutely important. At this point, I have more energy / I'm gonna be tired anyway. So I might as well just get up and do my things. So I do have a morning routine set up in my Routinery app that's 30 minutes. And then I've been trying to get a 10-minute workout in. And if I can get that done before Lyla wakes up, I feel like we're on the right track. All right, now for the rest of the day. As always, there's a lot of work I'm trying to get to. I typically only work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because that's when I have childcare. Lyla goes to my mom's on Mondays, and then she goes to daycare on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So tomorrow, there are 4 things that I'm trying to start my day with, which is sending some emails for meetings I have later in the week, which I will talk about later in this vlog. My communication routine, which on Mondays includes updating on the last 100 days and a weekend recap. Although this week's weekend recap is going to be really boring because I literally just recovered from my vaccine. I talked about that in last week's vlog. And then I've got 2 things I need to film. I need to film November's videos and January's videos. In an ideal world, I just wrote the word November twice. Okay. I definitely meant to write January. This is also why talking and planning doesn't always work. So in an ideal world, I'm getting through this before noon. I don't know if that's going to happen. It really depends. My mom usually comes and gets her at 9, but sometimes she was late last week. Sometimes she's early, really. And then it depends on how long it takes me to do these things. Sometimes filming, it takes me more or less time than I anticipate. The outlines for these January videos are relatively long, so we will see. Then at noon, I have the watch party. So one of the new things that we have been doing inside the community is the calls are not live anymore. They are pre-recorded, and I'm calling them lessons because they're not calls if they're not live. But what I have implemented instead is there are 3 watch party times throughout the week: a weekday daytime, a weekday nighttime, and then a weekend time. And during those watch party times, there is a Zoom link if you want to hop on with the community and watch the call together, watch the lesson together. I'm still getting used to it. And I am available to respond to all messages, comments, anything during that time slot. So depending on how many people are on there and how many messages I get, I also typically can get some other work done around that, but I still have that blocked off. Then after that, I have my weekly meeting with my husband. I talked about that in a vlog recently if you want more. And then I'm hoping to edit both these November videos and the podcast episode that I've been sitting on for literal weeks. Hopefully by the time you're watching this episode, it is up and I stopped procrastinating that. And then tomorrow night, we are going to the Spurs game, like I said, which is against the Bulls, obviously, because it's here in Chicago. So the other watch party time is 8 to 9 Central. So I will be at the game, but I will still be available. That is the beauty of it being on my phone, and I can still respond to all messages and all the things that I need to respond to during that time slot. Okay, in terms of other things that need to get done tomorrow, there is a load of laundry that I did today in anticipation of them coming to paint the basement tomorrow, but I don't think that's actually happening now. But I'd like to get that folded and put away. Monday, I always water the plants. And then I use this section typically for anything that I want to vlog. I don't typically on Mondays I've been writing kickoff. It doesn't always happen, but I write it there. But I think that's it so far. So kicking this vlog off with a daily plan with me. I can't promise I'm going to include every daily plan in this weekly vlog. I mean, tomorrow night, I'm not going to plan when we get home from the game. So I don't know when I'm going to plan. It'll probably be Tuesday morning. We'll see. We'll see what ends up getting included in this vlog, but trying to start the habit now of including plan with me's in the vlogs as we start to get prepared for Vlogmas, because this is the last weekly vlog before Vlogmas, which is kind of blowing my mind. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm about to sit down and start work, but I thought I would show you the view out my window. Not only did it snow a lot overnight, maybe I guess it depends on kind of where you're measuring, probably about 6 inches, but it is still snowing. And look at these beautiful flurries. Unfortunately, it is actually very chilly outside. The wind chill is in the single digits. So we are not, if the temperature was even maybe slightly warmer, I would for sure try to reschedule my morning and take my girl outside to play. But it just it's just too cold, I think, too. We could bundle up, but I don't know, maybe later this afternoon it'll warm up, but not too warm to go to melt. Not that I have a ton of time this afternoon between her nap and needing to leave to go to the game, but I just wanted to show you the view on my window. It's so pretty. I truly actually love snow. Do I love the bitter cold days in February when it's the wind chills and the negatives? No, not at all. But I love this. This is so beautiful and makes me very happy. Let me know down in the comments. A, do you live somewhere that you get snow? And B, do you like snow? Even living in New York for 10 years, the city itself didn't get a lot of snow. it would get cold, but like for whatever reason, I don't know if it was being surrounded by water, the buildings, whatever, like the city itself never really got snow. And so I actually feel like in Chicago, we get this beautiful white fluffy, I really hope the camera is picking it up, snow. Okay, I thought I would also show you the progress on my goals so far this month. I feel like that's also something I'm gonna try to do during Vlogmas is like showing the goal progress. So this one obviously is not going well. I need to kind of figure that one out. This one is pretty decent. This, very much working. One thing though here that has changed is I had originally thought I would do a little bit of Lila's baby clothes and a little bit of the supplies throughout the 3 weeks in order to finish that. Last week, I started working on the clothes and I just got inspired to finish it. Not all in one sitting, but like in the same week. So I did it in 3 different sessions, but I finished it over the course of the week. So I got the check mark and then I went ahead and crossed these off because I don't need to do them. I'm gonna go show you her closet in a second. And I finished the baby clothes. And so I didn't prioritize any of the supplies last week. And now that's going to be my priority for the next 2 weeks. So let's go look at Lila's closet. Before we go in the closet, I think I know what this lump is. I'm sorry to disturb you, kitty, but I bet you're so cute and I just want to show you. Oh, hi, sweet kitty. Oh, I'm sorry. But look how cute you are. Everyone always asks for more kitty. Oh, so good kitty. So good kitty. Okay, you can go back to being under the covers. Here we are. Also, I don't think I've mentioned this in a vlog. For now, Lyla is staying in her crib, so we are getting a second crib. I did make a baby registry. I talked in the last vlog, maybe 2 vlogs ago, about like making a registry, and I did end up making one just to have it for myself and to send it to our Lila's and baby boy's grandparents if they want to get anything for the baby. So I did make a registry and I put a crib on there. Also, all the places you make a registry have freaking fantastic where you get a discount at the end. So even if nobody gets it, we get a discount on the crib. So Lyla is going to keep her bed, her crib, and baby boy's going to get his own crib. But the dresser situation is changing because even though, yes, I can change Lyla's diaper up there still, 9 times out of 10, I put her on the bed. It's just easier because it's like the level is easier for me. She's like, her legs are sticking out. It's just easier. So what I'm going to do, and I also think there's a lot of white happening in this room. When we bought Lila's furniture, the apartment that we were in had like all this wood, this beautiful, like, it's like a red, almost red wood, like a walnut trim. So the white, and then the floors were also like a walnut wood. And so the white really like popped and looked good in that nursery. And now I feel like this room just has a lot of white. It's got this big white comforter. What's this, a lot of white and cream. So what we're going to do instead, this dresser, also because it's smaller, it's going to move into the baby's room and be his dresser. And then I have been shopping on Facebook Marketplace. I would love your thoughts. I'm really debating. I can get lots of options. I'm really not picky. I just want it to be some sort of shade of brown, like I don't care, light, dark, a shade of brown to bring some warmth in here. And I'm looking for like a regular length, it will fit dresser. And then I'm going to hang that mirror that I couldn't hang in the front entryway. But, you know, it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes to go get like furniture from Facebook Marketplace, even if you can get a good deal, especially in the city. And so I'm like, is it worth it just to buy it? But the other thing about buying it online is not even the cost, right? Yes, the Facebook Marketplace is a better deal. It's more sustainable, all those things. But also I don't want to put all the drawers together. And if I buy, like I was browsing the other day, I would have to put all the drawers together myself, and I don't really want to do that. So we'll see. I have not made that decision because until we can start moving furniture around, like they got to finish the basement so we can get Sam's office stuff out, and then it would be the time that I could move that dresser into the nursery. It doesn't even matter. So that's the plan for in here for now. So that's like things that I want to get done before baby boy is swap the dressers, hang the mirror, and then I'm going to hang some stuff over here just to bring some stuff in Lila's room. I was chatting with my mom and she was like, are you really going to hang stuff? And then eventually you're going to rearrange this room when Lyla gets out of the crib. And I'm like, I know, but it's just the walls feel so empty in here. Like she needs some stuff on the walls. So I'm going to hang some stuff. I have holes to patch in other places in the house anyway. So at some point when I redo stuff, I'll just have a whole patching party. So, okay. What we really came in here for was Lila's closet. So here's what we've got. The one thing not pictured is the bag. It's like one of those large Marshall TJ Maxx size bags of donations. So those are things that either I don't think they're high enough quality to save for a niece, or it's just something that I don't want to save for my future nieces. These 2 boxes are completely full, like to the top, with clothes for hopefully future niece. I took a picture of this and sent it to my sister and my sister-in-law, and I said, no pressure, zero pressure on timeline. Like, that's not what this text is about. But like, gosh, I hope one of you has a girl, because I have so many clothes for you. So those just need to eventually make their way to the storage unit. Not a priority right now. These boxes all are things that I'm saving that need to go into baby boy's room. Now, some of them you'll notice are empty, but these are all things that can be used for baby boy, either because it's like generic things. Some of these are not labeled properly. Like, this is a bunch of random stuff. Towels, sleep sacks. There's definitely some like young baby pajamas that are very girly, but I'm like, if he is just sleeping at home and nobody is seeing him, I don't care. I think I already talked about that in the vlog. But anyway, so these are all the boxes that need, why did I sit down? That need to go into his room. So eventually this is all going to be empty. So then I'm like, do I screw the dresser idea? Do I like get drawers for her closet and put stuff in there? And so then she has like this space, but then she doesn't play in her room ever. We have these book things over here as well. I could move those into the closet, or I could just like stop worrying about filling every inch of every space. And then up here are just Lyla's things. So we've got wipes, all the different kinds of diapers, like regular diapers, sleep diapers, swim diapers. And then these are like some clothes for Lyla. So these are things that people have gotten us that are like 3+. There's like 3 things in here, but things that don't fit yet. Dress up, like fun clothes. And then these are all the either 18 to 24 month stuff that's warm weather stuff that I'm saving in case it fits her in the spring, or it's a dress that I definitely think she could wear as a shirt. Like, I actually think some of these are even maybe 12 to 18 months, but her little like frame is pretty petite. And so like this like teal dress, like lengthwise, no, it's definitely not going to fit her by the time it's warm outside, but it could be a shirt with shorts. I don't know. So I went ahead and put all that stuff in this. That's what that bucket is. So that's the status. And I feel like really good that project is totally checked off. Okay, before I can move on to the next, I did like a couple of work things, but the next step is filming, and I was able to get my hair curled before Lyla woke up this morning because I stayed on top of things, and I didn't snooze at all, but I need to get my makeup done really quick. So I thought I would take this second to chat with you about holiday lists. Also, I feel like this vlog is already super long. Apologies in advance to my editor, but I feel like I'm feeling good this week, knock on wood, and having my camera back makes me feel good, and maybe a little bit of guilt for the like struggle of vlogging in the last few weeks. But I will tell you, those of you who commented and said like to not apologize, it's just so sweet, and I very much appreciate it. Also, so many like sweet well wishes. Our family member is starting chemo today, and that's just, you know, thinking of them and our family, and it's just really tough. So anyway, holiday list. So my mom every year asks us to send her like a list of ideas. She's like, I have so many kids, I'm not sending, or not, I don't have the capacity to like also come up with ideas. So she likes us to give her ideas. And I am struggling this year because, like I've mentioned in a couple of places, I don't want any more stuff in this house unless it's like a decor item. And so I'm like, do I just ask for a bunch of like home goods gift cards? Like, I just feel like I don't want any more stuff. And at the same, I don't know. I'm just struggling with ideas. I'm struggling with ideas both for myself, like gift ideas for myself, and I'm struggling with ideas for other people in our lives. Grandparents, you know, like my sibling, my mom will share. We do Secret Santa now with our siblings, where we only get one sibling instead of trying to buy for everybody, which is really nice because there's so many of us, especially now that some of us have brought +1s into this. So, you know, my husband and my sister-in-law are now part of it too. And so my mom will share a list of whatever sibling you get to help you with ideas. So that is easy. I can usually kind of play off of that. I usually try to do like 1 or 2 things from their list and then like one fun thing that I come up with. But anyways, I just don't know. I don't have any ideas. So if you have any ideas, either things that you're asking for this year, things that you have gotten in years past that have really been great. It's tough. And then same thing with Lyla. Like, I feel like she has all the big ticket things. She doesn't need any more toys. I'm thinking about if there's any like memberships that we could use. Like, we have a children's museum, which in the past I have avoided because it's on Navy Pier, which if you're familiar with Chicago at all, it's like a very touristy area, and it's kind of a pain to get to. But now that we're gonna have a car, and one of the memberships like comes with parking, and so maybe that's a good option, is doing the children's museum membership. I don't know if there's any other membership, like kids memberships. I have to do some research, but like Lyla doesn't need any stuff either. And so I'm like, I don't want more stuff in this house. I feel like I'm already trying to declutter stuff and I don't want more. So we'll see. I was just pondering that. My mom sent out the text yesterday about sending her lists, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I also feel like I struggle because if you listen to the podcast last year with my sister where we talked about Christmas lists, my sister is very adamant that your Christmas list should be things that you want, not things that you need. And I'm like, I don't want for anything, minus like this baby to be healthy and like for my family to continue to be healthy and like for us to be able to travel. And that sounds really cheesy, but like there's just not, my sister's 10 years younger than me, right? Like there's just nothing like that I'm like, I want this. And she's like, what if you could splurge? And I was like, then I would want to put that money towards like a house project, right? Like I really want to redo the fireplace. Like, can you contribute to me redoing the fireplace? And that's not a fun gift to give somebody, right? It's not fun to send just like, here's a check that you can use towards that. Like that's not fun for the giver. And I get that, but I don't know. I don't want anything else. That's what I want. So that's where I'm at. I feel like it's really tough. I also feel like this year especially, I'm really struggling with, and as the kids get older, it's something I want to figure out how to incorporate, not even just around the holiday season, but all the time, finding a way to like give back. Because here I am sitting here asking you like for gift ideas for me to send my parents, which is so ridiculous when there are so many people in this world who don't have food and don't have clothes and don't have all kinds of things. And I'm just like, I don't need anything. Like just donate it to them. I don't know. And so like, if I don't need or want anything, then like, let's take our resources that we have this time of year and give back and give it to people who actually need it. So that's something that's also been on my mind a lot, especially with everything going on in the US in the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to harp on it. I get messages, not often, but every once in a while that's like, you haven't talked about this, you haven't commented. And part of it is like, I think if you're here, you know where I stand and what I believe and what I support in the world. And also it's everywhere, right? Like I open up a social media app and it's like the first thing that pops up is something related to something awful happening in the world, or even right now, specifically in my city. There's been I open the Facebook apps and the mom groups are like, it is just, I don't even have words to talk about it. And I don't want to talk about it here because I want you to have an escape. You're getting it too. You don't need me to talk about it, right? Like you don't need me to bring it up. You know what's going on. And if you don't, maybe that's a different conversation about like having ways that you get the news safely for your mental health, but staying educated and up to date on what's going on in the world. So yeah, so I'm not going to harp on it here. But that's something I'm thinking about. Okay. Now that I've been rambling instead of really getting ready and spent 7 minutes talking, I'm going to finish my makeup and get back to work. Yo, I can't make this stuff up. My track record with technology is just non-existent. So, and I have to remind myself, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I know I don't know what the reason is and it's frustrating, but I do believe that. So I'm just gonna let it go. I went to print off the outlines for the video so I could sit down and film. And my computer did this like thing where it was like error found, needs to restart. And I was like, okay. So it like went to restart and it went to that like blue screen where it's like automatic error detection needs to like automatically fix. And it's happened before. And normally when I click like automatic repair, that's the word I'm looking for, it automatically repairs and it fixes itself and then it's fine. Today it did not do that. And it kept like, I tried clicking all the different options of like safe mode and this advanced repair option and blah, blah, blah. And then I tried Googling with like the error code and like trying to basically troubleshoot it myself. And after, I don't know, maybe an hour of like attempting to do it myself, I was like, okay, well, this isn't worth it. So I Google for like computer repair shops nearby. And there happens to be one that was like an 8-minute walk from our house. And so I was like, all right, cool, I'm going. Here we go. And I walk there. And by the way, it has stopped snowing, so that's good, but it's still pretty chilly outside. And they're not open because tomorrow is Veterans Day. So they are closed. Cool, great. Probably should have called before I left. Forgot tomorrow was Veterans Day. Like when you work for yourself, a lot of these like national holidays, I mean, I obviously know when like big national holidays are, but like, I forgot clearly that tomorrow is Veterans Day. So I'm like, I'm gonna call the next place before I go there. So I find one that's like a 20-minute walk from where I am in that moment. And I call them and he goes, a diagnostic could take up to 7 days. I was like, I don't have 7 days. Like that, this is my laptop and this is how I work and I don't have 7 days. Sorry, I just ate lunch, so my lipstick's a little bit all over the place. So I find, and now I know I could like walk into like a Best Buy, but I just feel like they don't provide the best service. It's fast, but it's not, I don't love going to a Best Buy. I also feel like they're always trying to sell me stuff when I go there. So I find another kind of like mom and pop shop type one. By the way, the second one I called is a chain. It's like you fix it or something like that. The first one I tried that was closed was like mom and pop. Second one was like a chain, but not a Best Buy. And then, but I was within walking distance. And now I was having to go something that wasn't within walking distance. I was either gonna have to take the train or the bus or an Uber. So the third one I called and he's there and I bring it in and he pretty quickly was like, it's the hard drive. Like it's just broken. It's not, like, I'm gonna take it out of your computer. I'm gonna put it in my computer. I'm gonna show it to you that it's broken. But like, I'm pretty sure it's what it is. And so then he was like, here's how much it is to replace the hard drive. Here, he gets like a discount too. He has pretty good deals. And here is how much my fee is. And here is, I can have it done by the end of the day. And I was like, great, that sounds good. Thank you. That's it. He doesn't think he's gonna be able to save what's ever on my hard drive, which should be okay because I do have OneDrive and it like auto backs up. However, I have been getting notifications that my OneDrive was almost full. So I may have lost some stuff. I don't know. I'll find out when I get it back and can play with it. But for now I'm home. I came home because it wasn't gonna be done at least for a couple of hours. And so I came home, I ate some lunch. I was also starving. And now I'm just like, okay, you need to make the most of this time. I can't, like, I'm not gonna be able to get any of the work done. I can't film because my outlines are on there, which those may have been something that got lost and we'll find out when I get my computer back. But I'm not gonna redo an outline if I don't have to. So I'm gonna wait till I get those back. I can't edit anything. That was on the list for today. What's on my list for tomorrow? Like, I mean, literally I can't do any of these things without my computer. So I am just gonna pivot today. I'm just gonna pivot and now it's gonna be personal stuff. I'm gonna get that load of laundry folded. I'm gonna change the air filters that came in the mail yesterday. I'm like looking at this, like my list of personal stuff and I'm just gonna kind of knock through that. And then the last piece will be I'm gonna do all of that other kind of like not as fun personal stuff first. And then I will get to start to organize my scrapbooking supplies, which is not what I was gonna do this Monday. I was gonna get ahead on work, get things done. And it just didn't happen. All right, this is likely going to end up being a very Monday heavy vlog, given that I don't have a computer to work on and I just have been talking a lot today, but I wanted to share the before of my desk from the supply organization standpoint. So I think what's going to happen for December, in my old office, I had a beautiful L-shaped desk that had lots of extra counter space that I could set up my supplies for the month for December daily. That is not going to be the case this year. I'm going to have to be a little bit more flexible, but I have some ideas that I'm excited to like mess around with. So the first one is I'm going to move this like more decorative stuff over just to my dresser. So it doesn't need to be here on my desk. And then like try and scooch this stuff over as far as possible. I may even move this. Like, yes, I grab for this a lot, but like, do I need it here? No, my Kanban board, he needs to stay here somehow. Then the other thing that I did is I managed to, this top drawer is like all my miscellaneous stuff, like tape and my external hard drive and like all that kind of stuff. Random pens sitting in my printer. But these two drawers I emptied out. This one had like, I don't even know, it's stuff that could go in a different place. And this one had paper, which I moved over here to my nightstand. Again, temporarily. I don't necessarily want to look at printer paper sitting there all the time. Normally it would live in here, but for now, it's going to live there so I can have room for supplies and keep them at hand. So I'm hoping between these 2 drawers and some extra space on this top ledge, and then maybe something in front that I would just have to move when I need the printer, I can keep most of it. We'll see. I just went through the box of supplies, and so the next step is kind of like getting it in here and organizing. So I thought I would show you the before of what the desk looks like before I get stuff set up. Okay, I think I got where I want everything to live, like on a regular basis, but I haven't necessarily finished organizing. I mean, I definitely will get a check mark this week for starting this process, but it's not done, which is fine. So what I've done, well, I had a second cup of coffee while I did this, which given we're going to the game tonight, I needed that little extra boost. I mean, it was half calf because pregnant, but still something. This, I think on a regular basis, prefer it this way when I'm actually working, but it stores nicely this way. So I'll store it like this, and then I'll probably pull it down when I'm working. These drawers fit nicely here. This has some random stuff that like isn't even December daily related. It's like travel related. It's kind of a mess in there, but this fits nicely here. So I want to try to use this organizer for my setup. And then, like I said, my Kanban board still lives here. I moved the pens down there. That is a different stack that I need to go through. That is probably not going to be today Laken's problem. I double stacked the 2 different kinds of paper that I typically keep on hand. I keep like thick, nice cardstock that I like for printing out like things I want nice cardstock for, and then regular printer paper. And they can just be double stacked and it's fine. Then over here, I have this guy here, which again needs some help like what this is actually gonna look like, but it fits nicely here and it's easy to move on and off when I do want to access the printer. And then these guys, which actually normally have lived stacked on top of each other, fit nicely in this drawer, so that will work out well. And then in this drawer, I have my like 3 storage binder thingies. And then this is my 2024 that turns out I got to day 10, which is pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. And then this is the little one that I've been doing for my mom with just like 1 or 2 pages each year that I never did 2024 for her either. I did 2023. So I have that in here. And so for now, I'll keep working on my 2024 and eventually I'll replace that with my 2025.21 I don't know where to store my finished ones. So in that box of supplies, I had 21, 22, and 23. I don't know where 19 and 20 are. 19 was my first year, and I will always remember that because it was the year we got engaged. I also haven't ever put the years on the outside, and I need to do that too. But I don't know where. I'm assuming, hoping that 2019 and 2020 are with my actual Christmas decor. And I need to figure out where I'm gonna like store these, but I thought I would just take a second. I'm not gonna flip through all of them on camera. I have all of these in video somewhere documented if you're curious, but for myself, just to like get a little bit inspired, right? So like, there's our New York apartment and Charlie and our tree. So I'm just gonna take a second and flip through 21, 22, and 23. And then that's probably it in terms of supply work today. Yeah, I think so. I think I have a little bit of time left. He hasn't called me to tell me my laptop is done, but hopefully we're getting close to the time he said it would be done. All right, here's the good news. My laptop is back in my possession. Yay, so we really only lost a day. And most everything got backed up to OneDrive. I may discover things that got lost, but for the most part, it looks like it's all good to go. So that feels really good. I feel really good about that. The one thing that got lost is this podcast episode. I just sent my sister a text, a super long text, apologizing that because I've been procrastinating this, now it is gone. And it just is what it is. I checked all the places that it could have backed up to, or if I happen to move it to my external, I usually only move final versions, not raw footage, which is like what happened. So it is what it is. And now it is time to, we're leaving shortly for the game, but I figured I would actually go ahead and just get tomorrow planned out. I got a lot of personal stuff done today. Like I did stuff, like I also got this done, household things. I cleaned some spaces. I vacuumed some things. Like it feels really good. So, and these outlines still exist. So I can easily just move those to tomorrow. So yay, all of those things are good. let's get tomorrow planned out. I know I mentioned this in another vlog, but in case you're like, what is this thing? I use one of the extra covers as like just a buffer. So when my planner sits like this, it doesn't mess up the other side. It's not as big of a deal when the other side is like a day that's over, but when it's a day that hasn't happened yet, I care. Okay, tomorrow morning, I am hoping to still get in my AM routine and my workout. My little peanut is staying at my mom's, which I like already miss her. You guys, like, I could not be more thankful. There's a reason we moved within a mile of my parents, and my little girl loves BB's house. But man, oh man, do I miss her when she is there. So these things probably aren't going to happen at 6 a.m. Kind of depends on what time we get home. But the good news is, because I'm not like taking her to daycare in the morning, my mom is just going to drop her off and I will pick her up. I can get my day started whenever I want. The time cutoff is I have a couple of calls tomorrow that I am filming a series for my YouTube channel for maternity leave. So I have actually a bunch tomorrow. I have one at 9:30. That's like my cutoff for starting work tomorrow. Again, I want to prioritize these things. I don't know how late we're going to get home. Game's at 7. We're driving, which makes getting out of there a little bit easier because I can DD. Not that I think I'm going with my husband and my 2 brothers. I'm not expecting them to like get drunk on a Monday. Although my brother said he has tomorrow off for Veterans Day, so that's convenient for him. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. So these are all the calls that I have tomorrow at different times. And so then it's going to be fitting in work stuff around them. How do I want to do this, you guys? Let's see here. So the things that I didn't get to today were filming and editing those videos, which are important, but I also like need a chunk of time to film. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to put all the work things in priority order for like as if it's after the call. But I don't know why I just put a period there, because I know that I'm going to put a period after I write this. If I can, depending on how each of these last, what time I get up, etc., I'm going to try to fit them in around that. So filming and editing is most important, especially because one of those videos is supposed to go live Wednesday. So that needs to get done. And then my communication routine. And then filming January. That's the stuff that was supposed to happen today that didn't get done. Then the stuff that was supposed to happen tomorrow. Okay, I needed to pause and think for a second. There's really like 3 other things. One of the things that was on tomorrow's list was to prep the pod, which, as I just discussed, is not happening. There's really 3 other things I'm going to do. Again, hopefully I'm going to get it done in between here, because these are like smaller tasks that I don't need as big of a chunk of time like filming, and I have to film in order to edit. So, this and some workshop stuff. Okay, so that is the list for tomorrow. I am not expecting to get to all of this tomorrow because, you know, some of these big chunks were on today's list. So we're just going to do our best, and that's what it's going to be, you know, among all of these calls, and then eventually go pick up my little peanut. And then Tuesdays are Dancing with the Stars night. So that is going to be the plan for tomorrow. I'm glad I got that all down on paper. Now I'm going to go put on my Spurs shirt and get ready for the game. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I sounded a little bit rough from last night. We went to the game. It was so fun. So not only, I'm a sports girly, so I love the opportunity to go to a sporting event whenever. It's also way more fun, obviously, when your own team is playing, and even way more fun when your own team wins. It was a great game. The Spurs came out strong, and then the Bulls came back, and they were ahead for like most of the second half, and then the Spurs pulled it out in the end, and it was just epic. And it's just so fun. Both teams are looking really good right now, and so it was definitely going to be a good matchup, and we just had the best time. I definitely don't wish it wasn't on Monday. Like, that's not ideal, because I was moving a little bit slow this morning, but absolutely worth it. When the other thing about, if you're not familiar with, or you don't follow basketball, if you follow other sports, because that's part of it too. Like, I guess I didn't fully get all my makeup off because I just got like black all over my hands. I am a sports girly and love to be at any kind of live sporting event, but my like top sports are definitely football and basketball. Just born and raised in San Antonio, basketball is all we had. We only have the Spurs, and then obviously football. And so, but I like enjoy going to the other sporting events too, but I don't follow those teams as closely. So if you don't follow basketball as closely, when you're in opposite conferences, so the Spurs are in the Western Conference and the Bulls are in the Eastern Conference, they only play each other at the other team's stadium one time. So like the Spurs are in town to play the Bulls one time all season. And so 2 years ago, when Lyla was like a small baby, it was like one of the first times I actually left her, like with my parents, not overnight because she was really little, but like for a couple of hours to go to the game. And then I don't remember last year what was going on and why we didn't make it to the game, but we did it. I think it may have ended up being, maybe it was in January when we were in the Bahamas. I don't know, but we didn't end up at the game. And so this year, obviously, we really wanted to go. It's early in the season still, but again, both teams are looking really good, and we had a great time. It was me and my husband and my 2 brothers. And then I got sick in the middle of the night. I don't know. I just woke up feeling super nauseous, and all of a sudden I was getting sick. I feel fine now. I mean, I feel like tired and sluggish, but that could just be like I went to bed super late and all the things. So I hope it's just something I ate and that I'm feeling okay. I have a doctor's appointment this week anyway, so that like feels good for a little bit of reassurance. Oh my God, see, like it's still like black. I definitely did not get all my makeup off. Okay. That's what happens when you take your makeup off at whatever time it was that we got home last night. Part of my doctor's appointment this week is the gestational diabetes test. Sorry, putting up the mirror like makes my blows up my face a little bit. Is it a test? I mean, it is a test. Where if you know, if you've been pregnant, you have to drink this like really sugary drink, and then they take your blood and test your glucose levels to make sure that your body is processing everything properly. And with Lyla, I actually did it super early. I definitely talked about this. I did it really early in my pregnancy, and with this baby, I'm doing it at the normal 24 weeks. So that is on Thursday. But anyway, it's time to get to work. I am, like I mentioned yesterday, I still have a lot of stuff to film that I didn't get around to filming yesterday since my outlines were on my computer that was not working. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready before I have all the calls today for the series that I'm doing during maternity leave. And I'm gonna try to film among them. My hair is just gonna be like second day curls, which it always happens. I'm very thankful for my nice thick hair. And when I curl it, it holds a curl really well. And typically the next day, it usually looks decent. But one side usually looks better than the other. This side looks great. And the side's looking a little rough from my sleeping patterns, but not bad enough that I'm gonna mess with it. It's good. It's good enough for what I need it to be. So I am going to finish getting ready, just drinking my coffee, and get going with my day. Also, they're here today to start painting the basement. I can't wait for it to be done so I can start setting all the things up. I should probably add to my list today to order shelves for down there. Okay, today has been another day. So here's my planner. I have gotten a lot of things done, but not the things I had intended. All of these are crossed off because they didn't actually happen. I went to get on the first one and the camera on my computer wasn't working. And I tried to fix it quickly and quickly told her, and the next one, like, this is not gonna work. I can't get it to work. It turned out I needed lots of updates. Like, I guess he installed Windows yesterday with my new hard drive, but there were lots of updates that still needed in order for the camera to work. It took multiple hours, multiple restarts, but my computer is finally working. But none of these got to happen today because I was waiting for my computer to do things. So that was incredibly frustrating. I've rescheduled them. It is what it is. I literally, I have best of intentions, right? Okay, so moving on. I did get the November videos filmed, and I just finished editing them and set them all to upload. So that is in really good shape. That's the bulk of what I've done today, along with some other miscellaneous things. Where I'm at right now, I don't have time to film all of January before I need to go get Lyla. Before I go get Lyla, my mom is going to come get me, and we're going to go run to a paint store. So there's they're downstairs painting the basement right now. And we're just painting the basement the same wall colors that the rest of the house has. We're going to paint the wall where the fireplace is. It is a project that originally I was putting off, and now I don't want to put it off anymore now that it's winter. We can't light the fireplace until we get a mantle. We could just buy a mantle and hang it, but it will look kind of weird if it's there by itself. And while they're here painting anyway, I was like, what is the extra cost it would be for you to just paint this one wall? And the number she quoted was super reasonable. And it feels like, again, while they're here, all their stuff is here. They have the primer, the tape, like all the things are already in our house being used. So if this is something that we want to do, like we should just do it now. But she's like, I need you to pick a color ASAP. Sam and I literally had this conversation yesterday. So I need to run and pick a paint color with my mom. And I mean, I could walk there, but I want my mom's opinion, truthfully. So she's going to come get me and we're going to do that. And then she's going to drop me off at a coffee shop near daycare and I will hang out there. I just noticed there's like a marker spot on my desk right there. Okay. We're going to hang out, or I'm going to hang out at the coffee shop and get some final work done. I don't know if it's going to be any of these things, like mentally. I don't think it's just going to work. I actually think what I'm going to do is prep videos because that is a more, like, much easier on my brain task. So that's what I think I'm going to be doing until it's time to go get Lyla. So that is what I'm at, you guys. So anyway, that's where I'm at for today. This has just been one of those weeks. All right, my mom wasn't quite ready to come get me yet. She was in the middle of something. It was like tell me when you're ready. And then we both kept like doing stuff, but it's fine. She's on her way now. So what I decided to do, and the timing worked out perfectly, is take the couple of minutes that I had before she was coming to organize my supplies. So now I feel like I can actually check that thing off. So here is my final setup. So this thing, like I mentioned, when I actually work, I will bring it down here. So I've got all of these different numbers. I've got all my journal cards, more numbers, and then paper back here cut in a couple of different sizes. And then I've got these drawers, which were in pretty good shape. I didn't have to do much here. I pulled the numbers out from the bucket thing and put them over here. At first, I think I'm going to end up, now that I have space, they're going to go back over here in the bucket. This is like stuff that I have collected. So I definitely already printed out this picture. That is last year, right? God. She has changed, Lyla has changed so much. As well as this, which I'm still not sure what I'm going to use for. In 2023, I used it for Be Real, which was really cool. I did not Be Real in 24, so I don't know what that's going to be used for. And then all of our Christmas cards that we got in the mail are in there too. And so once I finish 2024, this will be, I will put like supplies that I know I want to use from the new stuff, as well as when I start to collect stuff over the course of December. Over here, I have some ribbon and some little bags. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use these for, but I've got them here, a bunch of different like miscellaneous supplies. This is where the numbers are going to live. This is actually not Christmas specific, but I kept it out instead of putting it with the other supplies just in case. I've got these are pictures from like professional pictures from last year that I actually need to give back to my mom and sisters. Then I have my paper cutter, and then I also have the big, large papers, which I'm really tempted. Like on one hand, I want to be that creative person that's like, I want to leave it just in case I want to use it in a different way. But let's be real. I probably would be better off go ahead and cutting these, like cutting a 6x8 and adding it to my 6x8, and then taking this piece and cutting it and like adding it in with the sizes that I know I use. I don't use a 10x8 album, so I don't need these full 10x8 pages like this. So it's likely that's what's going to end up happening, is that I'm going to cut those down. But for now, this is where they're living because this is where they fit. And then in this drawer, I didn't change anything about this organization. I just like rearranged stuff and like cleaned this up to make sure that it was all nice and organized. And then same thing in this drawer. I just clean these things up. Charlie, if I leave these out, Charlie likes to get to them. So this works out better actually than last year, is keeping this stuff in a drawer so that Charlie will not chew it. So that is all nice and organized. So now the next step is finishing 2020. Gosh, I can't keep the year straight. I just filmed a bunch of stuff where I kept saying the words 2026 because I'm talking about next year. I need to finish 2024, which, like I mentioned, I got through through story 10 last year. Although I didn't look like I glued this down. And this doesn't have any like extra decor. I'm going to look at these and like touch these up a little bit. But when I didn't finish 2023, I put all the notes in my phone about what the stories were going to be. It doesn't look like I did that for 2024, you guys. So I need to go back and like go through my photos and figure out what the stories are going to be for 11 through 25. So that is going to be the next step in
in this before I can even start 2024. But like I mentioned, when I opened my products, which was and they're hiding over there in that box, my new products. What I talked about in that video was my advent calendar. Did I talk about it in that video? Or I talked about it for sure when I bought the advent calendar. It's going to be my reward. So as I finish a day in 2024, I get to open that advent calendar in 2025's version. That way, it's like a reward for me to keep going, and then I can use it in my 2025 album. So once I start going through these and like, checking that I like what it is, I will open that advent calendar, and I'm super, super pumped about that. I'm not sure if that's going to end up on a video or not. I've gone back and forth over the years about filming this process because I think when I film it, I rush and it's not the same level of enjoyment for me as when I just like do it off camera, but I will always flip through it and show you like the finished product. I lost my train of thought. So anyways, I'm going to pull out my advent calendar and then, not right this second, but that's the next step, and check on the ones that are here, make sure they're in good shape and I like them, and then start to plan out 11 through 24. I am not anticipating. Today is November 11th. We leave in 10 days to go to Texas for Thanksgiving. I am not anticipating that I'm going to finish before we leave. If I do, awesome. But if I don't, that's okay too. What's really important to me is that I kickstart the momentum and that I start working on it so that when I get home, I can keep that momentum going and hopefully not get too behind on 2025. And then when I start 25, finish it at some point in January so that it's done before baby boy comes. So that's my overall mental plan, but I feel like I'm in really good shape and I'm glad that I get to check off this supply step. That makes me really happy. So I just checked off that I finished organizing the supplies. I'm not going to check off, well, you know what? I guess I'll just go ahead and do the same thing. I was going to say I'm going to leave this box empty for like starting 2024, but like I will get this check mark here. All I did was write start 2024. I didn't write finish it. So I'm going to cross this off because I don't need to do this next week, and I can use next week to prioritize starting 2024 and getting that ready to go. I'm feeling pretty good about my goal progress so far this month.
Hello, happy Wednesday. I'm feeling good. I just got off. Okay, so first off, sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. I had a really hard time falling asleep last night. So I ended up sleeping in and getting up like right before Lyla did, which is not my ideal. It is what it is. I'm going to add like a 10-minute workout to my to-do list. I am hoping I can find, not that I can't find 10 minutes in my day. I absolutely can. The umph to do that at some point today would be fantastic. So I'm going to add it to my to-do list. I also dropped Lyla off at like the last possible second this morning. So I did not get home with enough time to actually do this plan before this first call. So I had one of the interviews. Interviews is a really formal word for what that was, but it was really just a chat with a community member that is going to be part of a series coming during maternity leave. Y'all, it was fantastic. So what I'm doing is I'm doing calls or doing chats based on like the stage of life. So work from home, work outside of the home, retired, or stay at home parent. And it was just great. It was so great. So I'm really excited for those videos. So just make sure you're subscribed because those videos are going to be great. And so I did the first one since yesterday, went off the rails as you saw. And now I need to get today planned with all the other things. So let me start by I have 3 other ones of these today. So I have one at 11, one at 12, and then one at 3:30. The other thing that's happening tonight is Sam and I have tickets to a show. Normally we do not go to shows on Wednesdays, but as I talked about in a couple of vlogs ago, we are having a family situation. So we are actually leaving earlier. Sorry, I just realized you couldn't see any of that. We are leaving earlier for Thanksgiving. And our tickets for this show were originally for that Friday night before we left. And it's a show that we both do really want to see. And so we looked at the calendar, and literally the only date that me, my husband, and my mom, who watches our daughter most of the time, if she's available, like were available while the show was in town, was this day. So normally I don't like necessarily want to go to a show on a Wednesday. I also don't necessarily want to have my daughter stay at my mom's again. I feel like this vlog looks like, she spent 2 nights there this week, which is not the norm. Normally it's like 1 night a month that she's at my mom's, and it happens to be 2 this week. But that is what it is. So yeah, that's all. So the other thing I need to do is pack her bag for my mom's. My mom first off, is the best, obviously. And she has most of the stuff that Lyla needs, but there's a handful of things that we just didn't buy duplicates of that we send to her house when Lyla spends the night. So that also needs to happen at some point today. All right, in terms of work around all of these things, there's a lot of things I'd like to get to today, and I don't know what I'm actually going to end up getting to, like looking at my calendar here. Or my Kanban board. So I think the other thing that I would like to do, well, let's see. The two things, if I can squeeze both of these in before this next call, is my communication routine and then prepping the lesson for next week's community. And then as soon as I'm off, like while I have this big chunk of time, I need to record the lesson. That's super important. I also need to do some more scheduling of these calls. I need to go through the Google form and send the link out to people. And then I did some prepping of the videos yesterday, but I didn't quite finish that. So I need to finish prepping the videos and get the newsletters ready. And that's probably the big stuff if I'm looking at it. Obviously there's other things. So we're gonna start there, and then I'll probably add the other things after that, because I don't know, I need to just jump into things and my brain is not working, and maybe these things will take longer. I mean, this is gonna take a whole hour. I should have given it a little bit more space. I'm gonna go ahead and cross this off, and then I think that's it. I definitely need a little bit more coffee. Good morning, happy Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. I had to think about that for a second. I am getting ready for the day. Yesterday, as you saw in my plan, I basically just focused on work. I ended up adding a bunch of things to it. I didn't quite get everything done that I wanted to get done, which is making me a little bit torn today on what I attempt during Lila's nap. I have mentioned this a number of times. I try, especially being pregnant, on Thursdays and Fridays to just rest during her nap, maybe clean, do some household things. There's a couple of organizational projects I'd like to get to. But if I need to, I will get some work done. So I just kind of need to decide what I'm going to prioritize. I don't mind pushing stuff to the next week, but next week is the last week before Thanksgiving, and I would really like to not have to work that week of Thanksgiving. We're going to be down in Texas with family, and it's not that working is going to be impossible. And I'm definitely going to bring my laptop with me anyway, just in case, but I would like to not have to work. So I really need to be honest with myself, what can I get done next week? And is the stuff I didn't get to this week, if I carry it over, is that just gonna domino effect, you know what I mean? So anyway, that was most of what I focused on yesterday. And then we went to see the show. By the way, I'm putting on this, it's from Trader Joe's, okay? I like Trader Joe's skincare. It's the day cream. It comes in a 2-piece set. It's a day and a night, and it is made with honey, and it smells like honey. It smells so good. But this is the day one. It's a little thicker than I have another one, which is this one from the drugstore. I don't know how to say this. CeraVe. This is thinner. If I'm putting on makeup, this is the one that I use. And if I am not putting on makeup, which I'm not today, I use this thicker one from Trader Joe's. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, last night we went to see the show, which was fantastic. I've mentioned this before. We are Broadway in Chicago subscribers, which means that we pay a set amount and we get, it's usually 5 or 6 shows in a set. And it's about every 6 months. Sometimes it's a little bit longer. Sometimes it's a little bit shorter. It just kind of depends on the show schedule. I know other cities have a similar format, but Chicago feels like it's a lot more jam-packed. It usually equates to about 1 show a month. And like I mentioned, we weren't supposed to see the show until next Friday. We just ended up having to move it up, but it was supposed to be our November show. And I think it is one of those shows. There's shows that come through on the package that we for sure would have bought tickets regardless. It's not especially actually next season's, there's a lot of new shows that we've never seen that were either nominated or won a bunch of Tonys. And so I think we would have prioritized those shows anyways. And it is just so convenient to just pay one fee and then you get a discount, but it is still convenient to not have to individually think about buying each and every show. And then when they release the schedule, I just send the dates to my mom. I'm these are the dates that we need babysitting if you're available. And there's been 2 times that she already had something booked and then we had to find other babysitting. But so it just works really well for us.
This one I'm torn because I think we may have tried to go see it ourselves because it was nominated and won a bunch of Tonys. So I think I said it during yesterday's Plan With Me, but it's Hell's Kitchen was the show, which is it's an Alicia Keys musical. All the music is Alicia Keys music. So you recognize a lot of it, which is always so fun when you see a musical where you like know all the music. And it's loosely based on her life is what they said. Of course, in the Uber ride home, I'm like Googling like what they changed and all that stuff. Essentially the biggest part is they just kind of like increased her age a little bit. They made her, she's 17 in the show, when she like kind of, and it's about her like discovering piano and her life with her single mom and living in New York, obviously living in Hell's Kitchen. And in real life, that happens much earlier in her life. But it makes sense, like they wanted to age her up. The girl, I like feel like I'm calling her a girl, even though she's 18, who played 17-year-old Alicia Keys, was out of this world, y'all. Out of this world. She is going to do amazing things. She just graduated high school and is now on tour playing 17-year-old Alicia Keys, and she was incredible. I don't know if we would have prioritized it. I think we probably would have wanted to see the show, but given the timing of year that it was at, we may have been like, it's too busy and crazy right now because Sam is going out of town this weekend and and then Thanksgiving. And so we would have maybe not tried to prioritize it. So I'm glad that we went. It was really good. And now it is Thursday morning and I'm getting ready. And then today is just going to be mom life. We have ballet in the morning. And then I have my doctor's appointment, which I need to look at my notes app again and look at what time I'm supposed to drink that stuff. I just realized that that's kind of complicated. If you know what I'm talking about, around this time of pregnancy, they have you drink a sugar drink to test for gestational diabetes. And you're supposed to get your blood drawn at like an exact time after you drink the drink. So they like tell you to drink it a certain amount of time before your appointment, and you have to drink it like within a certain window. And I remember being literally on the subway drinking my drink for my Lyla appointment. And there's lots of like opinions on how it tastes. It's not the greatest thing you've ever tasted, but the hardest part is like drinking it that fast. And for me personally, it is much easier, just like everything I drink, coffee, water. I enjoy it a lot more if it is ice cold and through a straw. And you can't pour it over ice and dilute it, but you can. I stuck it in the fridge last night when we got home. So, but it won't probably be ice cold because I'm gonna have to take it with me to ballet. So I'm just gonna do my best, and I have that appointment today, and then it's just mom life for the rest of the next couple of days. Like I mentioned, Sam is going out of town this weekend. He's got 2 back-to-back trips. Actually, he's going to a conference for the actual weekend, and then he's going to New York for his, I mentioned it on last week's vlog, Broadway Goes Acapella. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and close out this vlog here. Like I said, I'm a little bit torn on whether I make a plan for today, but I don't think I'm going to. And this is why I don't feel like I need a dated daily planner, because I really feel like I only need those hourly dated pages in the days that I showed you, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The other days, I just don't need it. So let me know down in the comments any recommendations that you have. I did browse the other night, and I remember how much I used to love the Amplify planner, if you guys remember those videos, but that's it's 8.5 by 11. I'm like, I don't necessarily need that big of a planner on a daily, but it's undated. So it's like, would I rather be wasting the actual pages like I feel like I do in the Erin Condren, or would I rather be wasting the space on the page? The plum paper is another option, and they have a different daily layout now that does have hours. I forget what it was that I was like, I don't love that layout. I don't remember. So that one's tempting too. But if you have any other suggestions of daily, undated, on a coil, I do need hours layout, I would love your suggestions. Okay, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment with the basketball emoji, because that was part of this vlog, going to the basketball game. And this is the last one, because in 1 week from today, it will be Vlogmas. So make sure that you are subscribed, all the things. I feel like that's the other reason I'm cool cutting this weekly vlog off. First off, I think it's super long, thanks to my amazing editor. But also, we are about to enter the season where I'm going to vlog every single day. And so I'm going to bring you along for Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. So I think for now, I'm going to take a break, enjoy this time with my girl, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching.
That's not even right. Oh my God. Let me start that over. Obviously, Laken, that sounded weird. Let me say that again.
Full so far. Whoa, do not zoom in.
That sounded weird. Let me say that again.
Let me start over. Let me say that again. Hold on.
I apologize in advance to my editor about how long this vlog is going to be.